Congratulations! You built the business. You created freedom. But now what? You feel lost. Like the success didn't actually satisfy. And you're not alone. Today we got a question from a young man who's come to the conclusion that nothing fails like success. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you my own experience of building a business that no longer needed me, and then how I basically destroyed it just so that I could feel the excitement of building again. Not really a good idea. And there's a better way. Instead of trying to build and burn, you might want to try slowing down and opening up to something deeper. But before we get into that, if you're looking for some clarity or direction on your situation, or just another brother to hold space for you while you allow your own revelations to come through, then you know what to do. Book a session with me, your old Uncle E, by clicking the link down below. So today we got a question from a bro. He says, "Yo, Elliot, I built a business machine that runs without me, but I feel more disconnected than ever. I used to wake up excited. Now I feel numb, even anxious by 9 a.m. How do I slow down without losing everything I built?" Man, great question. So if you're like me or the millions of other entrepreneurs who go into business for two reasons, I'd say there are two really good reasons why entrepreneurs like us, creators, course creators, content creators, coaches, consultants, right? It's because number one, we genuinely want to help people. Like we have this calling in our heart to serve, and we want to see people succeed, right? I built my business on helping men become the strongest version of themselves. That's reason number one, from the purest sentiment of our being, to really help. But then also, it's like the second wing of the bird. It's just as important and needed to fly. And that is our desire for freedom. I mean, there's never been opportunity like there is today to create freedom in your life by building an online business. You can travel the world. You can work from home. You can choose your hours. You've got total autonomy. But then somewhere along the way, we get really addicted to the grind and things start looking good. They start looking up. You start making income, but you get lost in it. I said addicted before, but it doesn't start out as an addiction. It starts out as a vision, but then becomes an addiction, where we start to get some momentum and it doesn't seem like it's enough. Or we get to a particular point where the business no longer needs us, and then we actually end up feeling stuck. What's that all about? Like you had the vision, you got the addiction, then you got the result, but now you're miserable. A lot of it has to do with forgetting why we started and allowing the addiction to take over. And when that happens, just like any other crack addict, when he doesn't get his hit, he starts looking for shit to steal or get into so that he can get his next hit, get his next high. That crack addict, that drug addict forgot what it was like to be a normal guy. And unless he has that high, he doesn't feel right. And it kind of happens to you and I. And there's usually two types of drug addicts in this instant. Two types of guys. There's the dude that will build and then burn. And then the guy who just suffers from the chaos of abundance. I could tell you, this guy, he relates to both guys. I've had them both happen to me in my life. And so I said earlier that I would share my story of building Strength Camp. A lot of you guys are familiar with me from my Strength Camp YouTube channel and my Strength Camp gyms, and how I started Strength Camp out the back of my van. Just a solopreneur, training athletes out of the back of my van, then opening a warehouse gym in the ghetto part of St. Petersburg, Florida. And around the same time, YouTube came about, and I set up this camera and I started talking about what we do in the gym, and it blew up. Not overnight, it took about 10 years. But when I got to that peak, when I got to that point where my business no longer needed me, because now I had a team, and I had leverage points and technology, I found myself a little bored, actually. I mean, I had become so addicted to the grind that it became my identity, and I didn't know what to do with this newfound time, freedom, that I actually started out wanting. And it might be where you find yourself too, man. Like that, like when you actually get the thing, you're no longer the person that knows how to appreciate the thing. Maybe you never were, because a lot of times it's a pie in the sky. And in our culture, there's sort of a gratification, there is an elevation, there is people put you on a pedestal for how hard you work, right? I grinded, I worked, and I did this and that, and I worked 14-hour days. And so it's very easy and pleasing to fall into that trap. So much so that when you actually get what you want, you don't know what to do with it. And so the build and burn type guy, or my experience of building and burning, was when I built my business to such a degree that it no longer needed me. And so I started looking for shit to do because I didn't know how to be. I started looking for other businesses to build, auxiliary businesses to build. I mean, I did some other good things. Like out of Strength Camp, I grew Grounding Camp. Out of Strength Camp, I created my King programs. I mean, I created a whole bunch of other shit that was really great, by the way. I'm happy I did it, but I now know, 10 years later, that I missed out on an opportunity that I was given, a gift that you get at the end of the grind. And I know it kind of like goes over our mind, like we don't realize that you're allowed to have a Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? Like in the Bible, when Jesus says that the Sabbath was created for man, not man for the Sabbath, meaning that like if you have to do relaxation, it's like another thing, another activity, another ego gratification, as opposed to it being created for man so that we can rest, even God did, on the seventh day. Like it's okay. And if we don't know how to receive that, it ends up looking like guy number 2, and I know him too. The guy that struggles with the chaos of abundance. And rather than taking the route I'll teach you in a moment, he chooses to numb out. So there's the anxious route and there's the sedative route. There's the, okay, I got what I wanted, but I'm addicted to the grind, so I'm gonna keep going, which I did for a while. And then there's the, I'm exhausted now. I don't know what to do with myself, but I'm not comfortable enough to be, so I'm just going to get high. And that's what I did. That's what I did, guy. Started smoking weed. Couldn't be, so I decided to smoke weed. Rather than receiving the gift that was given to me and resting on the Sabbath, but for what? And that's really the question. Why was the Sabbath given to man? Why did God say rest on the seventh day? I think it has a lot to do with what we're actually here to be. What we're actually craving for, which will never be complete if we keep looking on the outside. So there's a better way. The right way is to take that gift that we've been given with the extra time and freedom and go searching for, seeking out, reaching out to God. Like using this as an opportunity to take our physical liberation, our financial liberation, and then go in. This could be an opportunity for you to go through the 3 phases of the path of holiness that used to be only available to those who were monks, those who lived in monasteries, those who were old enough to not really have any cares of the world. But you Maybe you're still in your 20s. Maybe you're in your 30s. And you got this freedom. You have this opportunity. Then you know what the real work is? You know what the satisfaction will come from? The purification of your soul. Becoming like Christ. And there's a way that we can go about it, but it takes a lot of time. Good thing you have it. Begin with your purification, my man. Like, do you have any addictions? Start asking God's grace to come in and to heal that for you. How are your relations? Like, do you have a woman, or do you have a relationship, or is your marriage good? What about your health there, dude? Are you eating a lot of junk food and looking like a elephant? A hippo? Just a fat bro, you know? If so, what can you do, bro? Take care of those other aspects of your life, your inner life, your physical life, your relationship life. Become the strongest version of you. You now have the opportunity to do that. And then with your business, like, because you've made it your identity, it's going to be a part of the purgative process, removing yourself from identification with it so that you can go through those 3 phases of purgation of the soul, illumination through Christ, and elevation into the transformative union with God. And then as a founder, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, as the man at the helm, you then take the new you and you allow it to sanctify what you do. Your business doesn't have to expand laterally, it can go deeper, vertically. Deeper vertically. You like how that is? Deeper vertically. Allow your business to glorify God. But it doesn't have anything to do with what you're going to do, which I know is crazy, but again, it's a part of the purgative process. It has everything to do with who you're becoming, who you're gonna be, bro. That's the gift you've been given. That's what you're being called to. That's what's available to you when you let go of the addiction to the grind. It makes 0 sense to gain the world and to lose your soul. This is your opportunity. Make it your new goal. Done.